Jerry's script from my dance agency, and I read it, and there was just something that was there was something that was attracting me to it. It wasn't like, okay, I guess I'll go, you know. Sometimes when you get asked to go do stuff, you kind of don't want to go audition.
Mm-hmm.
But when I read Jerry's script, there was something about her character that made me feel connected to her.
Okay.
And I don't necessarily know what that is. I don't know if I could explain why I felt that way, but there was something about this girl who I could relate to. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go to this, because she was a badass, you know, she was like a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you know, I didn't have a kid at the time. But,
Right.
You know, I don't know, I really liked it. And so I went in there, and, you know, I read with him, and I read with some other actors that were in there at the time, and it felt comfortable. It felt like I could be her, and it just happened to be a horror film.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And, yeah.
So tell me, how was it working with Jerry? Is there anything particular about his style that you enjoyed during the process?
Well, the thing about it, this is my first acting job. So, as far as experience goes, I've never worked with an acting director, where I'm actually speaking lines.
Mm-hmm.
But so I don't necessarily have anyone to compare him to, but I know my experience with him. And the best part that I found to work with Jerry is not only did he direct me, obviously, with my character, but he cared about what I thought. And that really surprised me, because I kind of went into the situation thinking, you know, he's going to tell me exactly what he wants. He's going to tell me, you know, because he has a vision in his head. But the thing is,
most directors do.
Yeah, and so so well, that's what I thought. And really, what happened was he was more interested with how I naturally felt.
Okay.
You know, Dina, how would you naturally react? Do you think that, you know, when I first put on my outfit, he's like, well, what do you think? Do you think that her character would wear that? You know, and I really liked that, because I was like, wow, he wants me to feel as if I am her. So I liked that. He definitely had his opinions, and he definitely made the final say, but I really appreciated how he wanted to know how I felt, because I was her. So, and he really listened to me through that. So I really appreciated that, working with Jerry.
That's awesome. So obviously the main reason why we wanted to talk to you is because you're the standout in the short itself. But James and Riley both also did amazing jobs in the film, so we don't want to short them anything. How was it working with those two?
Okay, James is absolutely amazing.
And terrifying.
And completely terrifying. Because I remember we went in to go do our cold read, and you know, he was in there, and you know, he wasn't really in character, but we were talking about how he was going to be and whatever. And when we actually get to shooting, I mean, he was brilliant. The way that he went in there, and he kind of improvised the way that he wanted to say things, and he was getting so deep into his character. It was so intriguing and wonderful to watch how he was working, because I was learning from him. You know, like, he was grabbing from all kinds of different little things around him, and it was really brilliant to watch him work. James is definitely amazing to watch.
Do you think
also,
that really propelled, like, your demeanor in the film? Like, you think that really helped your demeanor with the way that he presented himself?
Absolutely. Like, for example, when I'm in the closet and he's outside, you know, we were actually speaking those lines, you know, with each other. I mean, that's scary. You know, like, James was on the other side, and to think that he could be that person, and the tone of voice that he had with his awkward finger, I don't even know. He definitely did a brilliant job, and it helped me to actually get into the emotion of feeling scared, feeling threatened for me and my daughter. You know, that's kind of great when you don't have to pretend.
Yeah, for sure. You know? And then now, what about Riley? Because, I mean, to be able to play such like a dark and sinister or opposite a dark and sinister character like James was portraying, seems like it would be kind of difficult for someone of her age, but she seemed like she handled it like a pro.
Yeah, she was very, very focused. It was actually really impressive. You know, she would walk off set and we would play and she would run around and she would show me little kid things, books and all these sparkle things. But then when we got into the room, Jerry would say, "Okay, Riley, are you ready?" And she would say yes. And when he said that and she said yes, that was it. She was ready. She was ready. She just, it was like an on and off switch. She knew.
That's awesome.
So she made it very easy for me to kind of play her mother character, just because once she got focused, she wasn't distracting at all. And that was really nice, for a little girl to have that attention span and be so professional about it was really a breath of fresh air.
No, that's awesome. Yes, that is awesome.
Yeah.
So, with your role in the film, I mean, Service just has like so many layers to it. I mean, it's like a home invasion. It's, James has this character that you can't really tell. He's disturbed, but he may seem like autistic even as his character. With so many layers in this film, like, how were you able to kind of focus and center yourself on what you needed to do to make sure you were successful with your role?
I think that was all the layers. What I needed to do was I needed to figure out maybe her story before she went into that house that day.
Okay.
And because you need to find somewhere that it comes from, somewhere where it stems from. Did I come from a place of, did I just meet with her father, for example?
Right.
Why am I so disheveled when I first come into the house?
Mm-hmm.
I'm shaking, I have her, what am I doing? So I had to create a story for her when I first walked in. And then, walking in and you think you have your daughter there, and then so you have to focus on your daughter. Okay, now leave your daughter. Okay, now you're going to dance, you're going to clean the house. Okay, but now, everything just gets fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And in the moment of everything getting messy, your mind has to do that as well. So after you have to take things, and you also have to leave them just as fast as you take them.
Right.
So just as easy as I put her in the room, I have to leave it. And just as easy as I go clean, I have to leave it. And then all of a sudden I'm in this room with this psycho.
Right.
So once you get into that place, it kind of, you can kind of grow from there. But it was challenging for sure with the very many layers, but I think that I would rather have it that way as an audience member as well.
Right.
Just because you have to leave the imagination of the viewer to also have an open door.
For sure.
You don't always know what's going on.
I mean, that's
really
what makes the viewer want more.
Correct.
It's by
Correct.
seeing that and leaving that door open and those channels available for the person to kind of wonder, okay, like you said, where is she coming from in all this, and why would she bring her daughter to a job like this?
Yeah, totally.
So
yeah, but that's also the thing is you can't, like that's my job as the actress is to create. I should know that answer,
right?
But do I want to tell the audience that? No. That takes the whole fun out of it.
For sure. Yeah. And one of the things that was extremely fun, which is a great word to describe this, is this howling scream that you displayed, reminiscent of banshees of the past. Where did that come from? Because that is something that, when you're portraying the type of role that you are in this film, you need something like that to really show that emotion and power of the performance and what's being, happened to this young woman inside of this small space. So how were you able to channel that scream and really bring it to the magnitude that you did?
Right. Well, I think in the initial moment when that was happening, I think you have to exert the body for something like that. I think you have to exert the body to its most extreme point when it can't go any longer. It's the same. It could be equivalent to holding your breath as long as you can in the water before you pass out.
Mm-hmm.
That feeling of, oh my gosh, there's the line, but maybe I can push it just a little bit more.
Right.
Or even if you're running, if you like to run, I know that there's this time when you feel like your body can't do it anymore, and you push,
Mm-hmm.
you keep pushing, and it's actually really painful. But for some reason, your endorphins kick in, and all of a sudden you have adrenaline, and you don't really feel it anymore. So I kept screaming as loud as I could for a really long time to wear myself out. To hopefully, by the end, my body would start shaking, and I didn't know. I was exuding too much. My body didn't know what to do, so it naturally went into almost survival mode of like, wait, you can't scream like this anymore.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So I try to exude it to the extreme.
Okay. Okay. Well, Denna, I want to thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure to speak to you, especially in light of all that is going on in your world right now. One of the last thing that I really want to touch base with you on is just, how do you see this propelling you into the future? Are you going to be working on anything after you have your child, or is this, hey, I got to do my mom thing for a while and then I might revisit this back again? Because we want to see you on screen again. So, it really begs for me to ask you, like, what the future may hold for you here with horror films and even even outside of horror with your dancing and everything else.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, definitely, pregnancy will hinder this craft that we do. But I'm not going to stop. I don't think a true artist ever stops their craft. So I will be going and searching more in depth about acting and still trying to experiment with all of this. I think it's a wonderful experience for me. I can't wait for all of these chances to come. And, that's why I'm really excited that Jerry gave me a chance. I didn't have any acting background, and here he is giving me a chance. And now I'm excited to go out and explore more of that and, like, push myself. Like I said, like, let's go to the extreme. Like, there's nothing too high. Like, let's keep going.
Awesome.
So I'll be around.
Okay, cool. Well, great, fantastic job in your debut. And once again, thank you so much for your time. I was telling some people that we may know some potential future Scream Queens out of there, and you were one of the people that we mentioned. So
Awesome.
we at Horror Movies Uncut really appreciate your time, and we do look forward to seeing you in more stuff in the future and also talking to you again as well.